Hey guys, I'm Grestar, and how about we watch a death battle, Ryu vs Jin. Of course, make sure to click on the link in the description below to go to the official release first. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Watch that there, then come back here and we'll watch it together. So yes, Ryu from Street Fighter versus Jin from Tekken. And that's basically about all I know. I do know a little bit more about Ryu from when he was in a previous death battle, but it has been a long time, and so I'll admit that I've forgotten probably most of this stuff, so I'm not going to rely on that knowledge. But when they reintroduce characters into Death Battle, they're not expecting you to have outside information or to necessarily remember what they had in previous Death Battles. They start fresh. So watching this, I should be okay going in with a relatively clean slate for Ryu. I shouldn't be missing much in that regard. As far as Jin goes, I don't know who he is. I'm sure that they have things that tie them together aside from just being in a fighting game. I know that a number of people left comments, probably something about demons and stuff like that, or their fighting styles in particular, but I didn't read too much in case they contained spoilers, you know? So I wasn't spoiled for this fight, thankfully. I haven't been spoiled for a death battle in quite a while, which is good. Because that's how we like it, right? I mean, it's part of the fun, is me being able to try to guess. Last time, unfortunately, I was wrong. I stuck with my guns, and it didn't work out for me. I just really wanted him to win. But this time, let's see if we can turn things around. So, having nothing else left to say, let's get to watching. And play. Alright, so here we go, guys. Another death battle, Ryu versus Jin. Let's do this, everyone.
Everyone has different reasons for studying.
We said everyone like the same time.
For personal honor, to improve health,
and for kicking the crap out of the other people.
Yay!
Like Ryu, the wandering world warrior of Street Fighter.
and Jin Kazuma, the
Oh,
power-hungry martial arts master of Tekken.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Cool. All right, looking forward to this one. I'm sure the end. Okay, so
he's the hero the world never knew.
It didn't.
His name means prosperous.
I'm not interested in them.
And abundant.
But I want to see their fighting styles.
Warrior. He is Ryu.
That's a pretty
Especially in that
introduction for
3D
a hobo.
animation.
Orphaned at a young age, Ryu was adopted by the martial arts master Gouken. Under Gouken's training and beside his fellow student Ken Masters, Ryu was trained in the art of Ansatsuken,
AKA the Assassination Fist. This ancient fighting style was specifically designed for murder, which automatically makes it the best martial art ever.
Sure, yeah.
Gouken actually taught Ryu a slightly altered variant of the Ansatsuken. Inspired by karate, kenpo, and judo, Gouken's version was a generally non-lethal one.
Oh, lame.
But the deadly side of the martial art lived on in Gouken's brother, Akuma, who would ultimately prove to be Gouken's downfall.
Yeah,
one day, Ryu
that
and Ken
happens.
return to their dojo to find their master dead.
Kinda.
Very
he
dead.
got better later. But Ryu didn't know
Oh,
that, so he swore
okay,
to
never
wander
mind.
the earth, perfecting his abilities.
There's a lot
until
of
he
blood
could
loss,
take down
though.
Akuma himself.
With the Ansatsuken style, Ryu is a master at close-quarter combat. With such techniques as the Shoryuken uppercut and the flying hurricane kick,
of
he
course.
can take down most foes in mere seconds.
Just defying gravity
He's
like
the
that.
living helicopter of pain. But he can also use his ki as a weapon, firing a fireball of energy from his palms. Say it with me, Hadouken!
Gouken's version of the Ansatsuken also taught Ryu several defensive techniques, including the skill to parry most other attacks with precise timing.
And with all these awesome powers of whooping ass, Ryu eventually made his way to the World Warrior Tournament.
Good for
With
him.
his skills, Ryu quickly reached the top of the competition.
Good for him.
the title of World Warrior, he faced his toughest opponent yet, Sagat.
Who ended up beating the shit out of him. But Sagat was surprisingly a pretty good sport, so when he thought the fight was over, he offered Ryu a hand up.
And in that moment, something dark swelled from within Ryu's consciousness. A force so fierce and destructive, he couldn't contain it. And he lashed out. With an enraged shout and an explosion of blood, Ryu emerged as champion over Sagat's near-dead body.
I assume Sagat's
Ryu's
blood,
dark
yeah.
side had been unleashed. This was the Satsui no Hado.
A violent inner force so extreme, its name actually means surge of murderous intent. If I ever knowingly father a child, I know what I'm naming him.
Ever
Under
knowingly.
the influence of the Satsui no Hado, Ryu falls into an uncontrollable rage known as Evil Ryu, where his physical and spiritual power skyrockets.
He can even teleport and use Akuma's favorite technique, the Shun Goku Satsu, which literally translates to instant hell murder. Okay, shit, now I gotta have 2 kids that I care about.
Darn
The
it.
Shun Goku Satsu, or the Raging Demon, is a fatal move which attacks the very soul of its victims with the gravity of all their past sins.
To make them die 1,000 deaths.
But while the Satsui no Hado is a manifestation of Ryu's dark side, he has achieved balance with the light. This is called Mu no Ken, or the power of nothingness.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. What's he gonna do with nothing?
By focusing
go
on
with
mental
it.
and spiritual refinement and detachment, Ryu has achieved the ultimate state of being. This begets a power strong enough to match and even surpass the Satsui no Hado.
Well,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
good.
That's how Goken survived Akuma's hell murder attack. And now Ryu's got the same power. Look at him go.
With all this power, Ryu's performed some incredible feats. Aside from winning the World Warrior Tournament, he's dodged bullets, destroyed skyscrapers, and survived Balrog's Gigaton blow.
Yeah, remember him from that boxing match?
I
we did?
do.
He's strong enough to kill an elephant in 1 punch. Ryu is so tough that he's survived getting impaled. And when he goes evil mode, he can just walk through gunfire.
He's
What?
strong enough to
How?
lift this enormous boulder over his head. By estimating the boulder's volume compared to Ryu's height and assuming a sandstone composition, we can determine it must weigh at least 36 tons.
I
Plus,
see.
there's a guy sitting on top of the boulder, and he's lifting his own boulder. Man, Oro's cool.
While Ryu's fighting record isn't perfect, his wins far outnumber his losses. He's defeated his friend Ken, the dictator M. Bison, and even a genetically engineered super warrior named Seth.
Okay.
Those were just pit stops compared to his frequent battles with Akuma. And if you don't know, Akuma shattered an island with a single punch, split Ayers Rock in half in Australia, and jumped to the ocean surface from 4,000 feet below in 3 seconds
Wow.
while destroying a submarine.
That's about 3,000 miles per hour, by the way, and I guess he just powered through the bends.
Yeah, he's definitely final boss material.
And so, years after Akuma's attack on his foster father, Ryu faced him for the final time. And with the power of Mu no Ken on his side, Ryu was victorious.
All
Yay!
in
He
a
did
day's
it!
work for everyone's favorite Street Fighter.
You had the power to actually defeat that beast. Now show it to me.
This power is not your defeat.
His fingers are so big.
This is the power to push forward.
He's got like sausages.
If you met Jin Kazuma when he was just a boy, you wouldn't figure he'd grow up to be one of the most dangerous men to ever live.
Unless
eyebrows.
you already knew about his super deadly and super crazy family.
Jin was raised by his single mother, who taught him the Kazuma family-style martial arts after his father abandoned them.
Oh.
Story of my life. No, really, those training days with Mama Boomstick were some of the best times of my life.
Oh.
One day,
Happy
Jin's mother
memories.
sensed a great evil approaching. She told him that if anything were to happen to her, he should seek out his grandfather, Heihachi Mishima.
Right on cue, a big-ass ogre showed up and attacked him. When
Isn't that
Jin
just
came
typical?
to, his mom and Shrek were nowhere to be seen. Don't you hate it how moms are always right?
Thankfully, it wasn't too difficult for Jin to find Heihachi.
Yeah, he's super rich and has a really tall building. Kinda hard to miss.
Okay.
So rich, in fact, that Heihachi owned a multinational conglomerate empire with its own banking, weaponry, military forces, and, just for kicks, a martial arts tournament.
Ah.
Why didn't Mom tell him about this? Time to collect on those missing Christmas presents, Granddad.
Well, she also forgot to mention that Heihachi is a terrible father who's obsessed with throwing his own son off cliffs. Nobody's
Oh.
perfect, I guess.
Regardless, under Heihachi's guidance, Jin trained and perfected the Mishima Ryu fighting style. With 2 types of martial arts mastered, he's got all sorts of techniques that can pack a punch.
Okay.
Such as the flash punch combo and the electrically charged lightning screw uppercut.
Or his famous 10-hit combo chain. Once he gets you stuck in his flurry of punches and kicks, you're not going anywhere until he finishes you off with a classic dragon uppercut.
With these talents and a thirst for revenge, Jin entered his grandfather's King of Iron Fist tournament. There, he came face to face with the ogre once again. But instead of, interrogating him to find out what happened to his mother, Jin just killed him. Nice job, stupid. There goes the only lead you had.
And nothing tastes better than sweet, sweet revenge. Except for maybe Mom's cooking. Well,
Aw.
unfortunately, it didn't last long, because he got shot up. by his grandfather.
Oh.
That son of a bitch. Mama always said never trust a bald man who tells his barber, give me the Wolverine.
But Jin had a little surprise for Heihachi, and for himself, actually.
Oh.
Thanks to his family
Oh,
line,
geez, yeah.
he has inherited the dreaded and parasitic Devil Gene.
Which turns him into a flying, laser-shooting demon person.
Ah.
Now that's one genetic disorder you can sign me up for.
Good news then. I've been working on an artificial digestible version of the Devil Gene myself.
Oh, yeah? Would that happen to be the chewy fruit candy in the blue bucket?
What did you do?
Well, my dog Jack Spaniels was wandering around scrounging for food
Oh,
as he
no.
does, and I was wondering why he suddenly grew horns and wings.
You've got to be shitting me.
Anyway, compared to his base form,
Poor
Devil
Wiz.
Jin's strength, speed, and durability are better than ever.
Devil Jin is strong enough to throw people dozens of feet and even smash them through walls. For this instance in particular, he's pushing Heihachi through the limestone wall of an Aztec pyramid. To do this, Jin must have struck the wall with force equal to at least 10 tons per square inch.
Hell, Jin is stronger than this guy called Raven, who can toss around this giant war robot named Nancy.
When compared
Really?
to real-life robots of
Okay.
similar size and accounting for additional weaponry and gear, this machine should weigh anywhere between 15 to 30 tons. Also, Jin is fast enough to dodge bullets and fly into orbit,
And survive falling all the way back down.
which puts his maximum flight speed over escape velocity. That's more than 25,000 miles per hour.
Huh.
He can even punch so fast he causes shock waves. That's right, Jin throws punches faster than the speed of sound.
Huh.
Remind me never to give him a high five.
Totally reasonable, considering his grandfather can catch bullets in his teeth from just 20 feet away.
And surely Jin can do better than that. Heihachi doesn't even have the Devil Gene.
That's right, the Devil Gene traces back not to Heihachi, but to Jin's grandmother.
Who freaking rides tigers?
As a result, Heihachi's son Kazuya inherited the Devil Gene and passed it on to Jin.
Kazuya's powers are basically the same as Jin's, and he's shown just how far the devil form can go. He's shot a blast powerful enough to erupt a volcano and survived a satellite laser straight out of Independence Day.
Oh.
This is the same laser that once shot the robotic soldier Gunjack. By measuring the blast radius and resulting devastation, the laser's firepower appears to equal 3.7 megatons of TNT.
That's a lot.
You know the bomb that got dropped on Nagasaki
Yeah.
in World War the sequel? Yeah, this laser's like 176 of those hitting all at once.
I see.
While the Devil Gene can sometimes be difficult for Jin to control, it provides an enormous advantage against almost any foe.
With it, he's won 3 of the 4 King of Iron Fist tournaments he's entered. He's defeated Heihachi, Kazuya, and even the supposed OG Devil Man himself, Azazel. Too bad he had to start World War II sequel just to find him. Kind of a dick move.
A little
Jin's
bit.
certainly no angel, and hardly a hero. Still, when it comes down to it, he is the child of destiny, and not even the devil's blood can seal his fate.
Can't you understand? All this fighting is pointless. It's never gonna end.
It will end with this bloodline. And that is why I fight.
I see.
All
right,
the
well, you
combatants
guys
are
know what
set.
this
Let's
means.
end this debate once and
This means
for
it's
all.
time for a
But
commercial.
first, all this talk of gin is making me want to pour
And
a
so-
glass and eat some delicious blue
So we're gonna
apron.
skip ahead here. It's time for a death battle and pause. All right, so to make my prediction, I think that Jin is going to win. I hate to jump right into it because I feel like I'm always overlooking something when I want to immediately jump to a conclusion, but it seems like Devil Jin is a little too powerful for Ryu. You know, I'm trying to think of similar things. It seems like Ryu holding the boulder and Jin with that robot tossing it around, it seemed like they were about the same weight. It actually seemed like the Ryu boulder thing was heavier, but he's holding the boulder, whereas Jin is like tossing the robot around from what I remember, right? And I feel like that would make him, he'd have to be stronger to do that instead of just holding something, you know? To actually be able to kind of maneuver a little more freely with it and manipulate it a little bit more. And then I was trying to think about like their durability because, you know, Ryu was able to survive against Akuma who could like break an island and stuff like that and like jump super far through the water and break a submarine and all that. And that's really powerful and Ryu can withstand a lot. But, you know, Jin was able to survive falling from orbit. Jin was able to survive the laser. So unless there's something about that that I'm not catching, like there's a trick to it, if he didn't like take the full brunt of the laser, but instead blah blah blah. You know, if he's surviving that much, it seems like he has really good durability, you know? And then it seems like he's really capable as a fighter too. It said that he unlearned like the first technique he learned and just learned traditional karate instead, so that kind of sucks. You know, that's not really in his favor. But I don't remember Ryu learning other stuff really than the one technique that he knew, like the assassin, whatever it was called. And then, you know, Jin has, you know, the laser. Of course, you know, Ryu has the Hadoken, but was it like that many bombs? You know, was it that many megatons of force? Like, I don't know how strong Hadoken is. And then with, you know, Jin's punches being able to, like, they're faster than the speed of sound, and him being able to fly so quickly, Ryu can teleport. But if they both have, like, quick reaction time to dodge a bullet or catch it in their teeth or just to, like, take it, you know? I feel like a lot of the stuff that Ryu has, Jin also has, but it just seems right now that Jin has more, or, you know, in those areas, he's superior. So, hopefully Jin wins. I'm going to say that Jin is going to win this one, and if not, I look forward to hearing how Ryu makes it out. But Jin's gonna win and play. Oh, look who it is.
There's no way I can lose. Talk is cheap.
Ryu, why are you wearing eyeliner?
In the heart of battle.
Why is he wearing eyeliner, guys? That's fine that he is, I'm just wondering. I completely missed why they're fighting, by the way. I was worried about his eyes. Worried, preoccupied by them more like. I don't know. Come on, you can both do better than this. Take each other seriously. Well, that's taking him more seriously for sure. I can't tell if either of them have an advantage so far. Did he jump? Did he just take it? Oh, see, Ryu's confident in him. Oh, okay, so he went Devil before Ryu did anything. Ryu hasn't gone Devil or Angel. Which just makes me worry about Jin and his life. See, especially now that it seems like Jin has the upper hand, now I'm really concerned for him. Because that's when they twist it, right? Ow! Oh, that was pretty cool. Just the effects they use there. Come on, you're not out yet, Jin. He's just cyclopsing his face. And now he's an angel. I question how he can let go of everything when he's getting cyclopsed in the face, but get up, Jin.
I walk the path of the true warrior.
Darn.
KO!
Wrong twice in a row.
Oh, I get why it's called the power of nothingness now. There's nothing left in his chest.
This one was a tricky match to decipher. Both Ryu and Jin had many displays of incredible feats, but very few truly showcased the upper limits of their power. We know that in their base forms, both could lift around 30 tons and move at supersonic speeds. Also, we know Ryu could maintain a much better level of control and discipline in Muno Ken than Jin in Devil form.
Yeah, hardcore Tekken fans know he had pretty good control over it in that Blood Vengeance movie, but it's pretty inconsistent with game canon. Even Tekken's creator has said it's not canon.
Also, Jin's fall from orbit feat was impressive, but it is hard to quantify due to its presentation. Even if we assume we are to take it literally, a man of Jin's size landing at terminal velocity would equal around 18 tons of force.
But to find their limits, we had to scale them to comparable characters.
Scaling Jin to his father Kazuya was logical. Kazuya survived that 3.7 megaton laser blast, and it's clear it was necessary for him to be in devil form to do so. Kazuya's own laser blast was strong enough to help kick off a volcano's eruption, a feat which could require up to 100 megatons of TNT. But that's a very generous estimate, and its actual potency is likely much less.
Since their power comes from the same place, and Jin's even defeated Kazuya before, it's safe to say Jin can do all this too. As for Ryu, we knew exactly who we had to scale him to. Let's talk about Akuma.
Okay.
First off, just to prove this scaling is reasonable, Ryu and Akuma share very similar abilities. Both were trained in the Otsutsuken fighting style, and both possessed the Satsui no Hado. They fought each other several times, and when the story was all said and done, Ryu emerged ultimately victorious based on his skill alone.
Now that that's out of the way, let's watch Akuma punch an island to death.
With a single strike, Akuma managed to break apart an entire island so thoroughly that Ryu, who was on the island, was left floating helplessly in nearly clear water. Assuming the island is somewhat circular, we've estimated the volume and deduced that in order to fragment the island like this, Akuma's punch must have been over 400 megatons of TNT.
That's more than 4 times stronger than anything a Devil Gene has pulled off. And Ryu takes blows from this guy all the time.
Sure, Ryu wasn't getting hit with 400 megatons every time Akuma landed a punch, but the most a Devil Gene carrier has ever survived amounts to less than 1% in comparison.
Yeah, see, that was the comparison that I got wrong.
As strong as Kazuya's volcano feat, it still pales in comparison. The fact that Ryu survived being on the island as it was blown apart helps justify this scaling too.
Well, Jin still takes the speed advantage with that flight into orbit, but it doesn't mean much when the difference of power and toughness is this massive.
When it came down to it, Ryu's strength, durability, and control were just too far out of Jin's reach.
Wait, Wiz, we forgot a feat. You remember that gun Jack robot?
Uh-huh.
A later model of Jack once destroyed a meteor. Couldn't we just scale Jin to that?
Well, it's unsupported by canon material.
Feel like
but
Boomstick
even
doesn't
if we
mean
did,
that.
Guess who destroyed an even bigger meteor?
Akuma?
Akuma.
Damn. Well, get up, everybody. Ryu's taking care of business.
The winner is Ryu.
Claps for Ryu. Alright, talking.
Thanks for watching. If you guys want exclusive commentary on the episode, just click that little box right over there.
And if you want the battle music from this episode, you can get it by clicking the link in the description.
You know this by now.
Yeah, we do. Next time on Death Battle, we have... Oh, okay. Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai, yeah. I haven't watched either of those, but I am aware that they exist. So about this Death Battle, I was wrong, and unfortunately I was quite confident in Jin, until the battle started and the animation, you know, you catch on to little animation quirks and kind of get the pacing of it and everything. But you know, once the animation starts, it's too late to back out, you know, you can't change your mind. The biggest thing for me is I guess I severely overestimated the whole surviving that laser from the satellite feat, or at least underestimated the whole punching an island. I guess I didn't know how big the island was or how much he destroyed it, that kind of thing. And I guess I was also thinking that that was probably a very particular punch and not just one of Akuma's regular old punches. You know, in the sense where, like, yeah, maybe Akuma can do that, but was, you know, Ryu hit with that kind of punch, you know, that kind of thing. But I was wrong in that thinking, so that's unfortunate for me. I also didn't realize that, I mean, they scaled it anyway, but I didn't hear that it was only, like Jin's grandfather, I guess, who survived the satellite attack. That's how I understand it in the end, right? That it was him, not actually Jin. And I completely missed that he was in his devil form when he survived that. I thought it was just normal him. And that would have made a big difference had I been aware of that. I can't say that they didn't show that. I probably just misheard, or, you know, was busy talking or something like that. Much like when the battle started, and I was very, you know, I was paying more attention to Ryu's eyeliner than actually the story behind the battle. So unfortunately, me, you know, enjoying these stories in Death Battle, like actually having a reason for the characters to come together and fight, or at least to fight if they happen to be in the same area. I missed it, but that's all on me. I assume they have some sort of story. And so I'm not gonna fault them for that. You know, if they don't have a story and I'm listening, then I'll fault it, you know? Like, because I enjoy those. I enjoy having a reason for the combatants to get together and actually try to kill each other. This time I'll assume that I just missed it, so good job, Death Battle. As for the battle itself, it was slightly disappointing for me, like the animation, just because I was really hoping for another, like, TJ Combo versus Balrog, where, you know, maybe if I were to watch that one again, I wouldn't be as impressed. But when I watched TJ Combo versus Balrog, even though I had, like, you know, I knew nothing about the characters, I wasn't interested in the characters, the fight was really cool. Like, I got really pumped, you know, watching it and the music they used and everything. This one, despite the characters that they were using, it seemed really kind of slow, honestly, in comparison. You know, a lot of the hits didn't, like, feel as powerful to me and that kind of thing. It just seemed to drag a little bit in some areas. Some of the effects, some moments were really cool, but you know, others just not as much. It wasn't as hyped as I was expecting. Or maybe it wasn't as cool as I was hyped for, I guess I could say. You know, when I saw it was 3D, I was like, oh yeah, it's another one of these, you know. But unfortunately, it didn't blow me away. It was perfectly fine and entertaining, but it didn't meet the expectations I had. And maybe those were unfair expectations. That is a totally reasonable counter to that. So, this death, too, I wanted to point out, Jin's death seems like one of the most underwhelming deaths so far, honestly, in the series. You know, other characters get, like, decapitated or, you know, like, put in a blender or, like, just completely destroyed or something like that, right? And Jin, it looked like he got hit with a giant ray. He fell, rolled over a few times, and then there was blood. And so, like, there was a pretty sizable amount of blood. That's true. However, we've seen them lose a lot of blood in the past. It didn't look like he had lost any body parts. I didn't see a hole in him or anything like that, so I was honestly like, oh yeah, it looks like he could just get back up and keep fighting. Like, will he be weaker? Yes, it'll be all anime, you know? But I didn't know that he was dead. Even as Ryu was talking, you know, right before they did the KO kind of thing, I wasn't sure that it was over. I still thought that Jin might have just gotten up, but he didn't. He lost, and I was wrong, and a little sad now. But okay, you know, that's what happens. Oh well, what do you do? As for next time, again, Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai. I've heard of them. I haven't watched any of them. So, you know, I don't have any particular care for the next time. I feel like I have to be careful when I say that, or at least clarify or apologize even. You know, it's not to say that I'm not going to enjoy the next time. It's not to say, like, I'm not happy for all of you who've been really hyped and hoping for this battle. It's just nothing that I grew up with. It's nothing that I have personal interest or attachment to. So I'm not, like, looking forward to it. But I know that it'll be entertaining because Death Battle always is. You know, it's that kind of thing. So I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. I just have no attachment to it. So I have no expectations. Like, that Death Battle is not made for me, but I can still watch it and have a good time. That kind of thing. But yeah, as far as this Death Battle goes, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc., so on and so forth. And as far as the next time, I mean, I'm sure you guys have all watched that already. So I just ask that you don't spoil me. How about that? I'll watch it, and it'll be uploaded on my channel next Saturday. So wait 1 week, and then you've got it. But for now, we're calling it here. Cue outro, go!